Hey folks, Andrew Naudine here, candidate for Leander City Council Place 5, and today is April 3rd, 2025. We're 1 month away from the general election, and of course, I want to once again encourage you to get to the polls. Early voting starts April 22nd, and the election date is on May 3rd. Now, the other reason that I'm coming to you today is there's an item in front of the City Council this evening that has a little bit of a longer range effect, and I thought it would be appropriate to at least make some comments about the Ronald Reagan toll road question. Now, I think it was last week, Cedar Park approved a $500 million study that is being funded by CTRMA, which is the Toll Road Authority, to look at Ronald Reagan Boulevard. I think it's a total 30-mile stretch, and there's about 5 segments that they're looking at. They did go to Cedar Park to talk to their council about what they thought, and they approved the idea of the study. They didn't make any long-term commitments, but I think that there's some things that we need to think about here, and the reaction that I'm getting from folks that I've talked to is they don't want another toll road. So that's going to be something that there's going to be pushback on this idea from citizens, and probably for good reason. I mean, we tend to default to toll roads here in Texas, and sometimes that maybe doesn't necessarily answer all of the long-term questions. So with regards to this particular issue, I'd like to see City Council bring up a few points. One of them is CTRMA is actually conducting the study. So when you're in analytics, one of the things that you want to try to avoid is confirmation bias. And in this particular study, I think it's in their interest that they show this is a good idea. I'd like to see council at least raise that issue, find out how they are working to eliminate confirmation bias, as well as where the control group is coming from. This study needs to be compared to another corridor that's very, very similar. And we need to go beyond traffic and the potential revenue generation from a toll road, which is generally what is talked about when you look at these types of toll road studies. We also need to look at the impact to Hero Way, 2243, New Hope, Crystal Falls. Those are all going to be areas that are going to be impacted by the additional traffic that could be shuttled up the Ronald Reagan corridor. Now, the other thing I would also like to see the council bring up is this is just a road study, and I think we need to zoom out a little bit and look at more of a comprehensive transit study and really bring together all of these pieces into the thoughtful consideration before we make any plans that are going to affect all of the people who live and work and play in the greater Leander area, especially along that Ronald Reagan corridor where we already know there's a number of traffic issues that we need to address. Now, the idea of a toll road is obviously a way to be able to pay for those things, and that's always one of the considerations that has to be undertaken as part of the way you look at this. So I'm not necessarily saying that the study itself is not a bad idea. The city probably does not have the money to be able to conduct a similar study themselves, which is why I'm more than likely favoring a potential study as long as some of those concerns are addressed in the way that CTRMA actually conducts the study. I think there's also been a county study in the same corridor, and I would imagine that TxDOT has done some studies there too. So we need to take all that data into consideration before we make any type of long-term decisions on that particular corridor. But I thought it would be fair for me to go ahead and step out and give you some opinions, early opinions, on what I think we should be thinking about when we're looking at this Ronald Reagan study. So I definitely appreciate the opportunity to share with you my ideas and concerns, and I hope that in some ways they may be reflective of your very own as citizens of Leander. I know, like I said, I've had a few people come up to me and say that they were concerned about this, so it is something that people are taking note of, and I certainly hope that this is an opportunity for you to understand how I might go about addressing some of those issues. So thank you for your time here today, and don't forget to vote April 22nd through the 29th, and again on Election Day on May 3rd. Those are your opportunities. Take a look at voteinleander.com to find out where you are actually able to vote. I put up some information there as well. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.